12-year-old Regan is acting strange. Does she have a neurological condition, or is she possessed by a demon? Now, when I was a kid, my mom told me that my grandmother read the book The Exorcist that the movie was based on, and when she finished it, she called it evil, threw it in the fireplace, and let it burn. Now, that was in the late 60s before the movie had come out. Now, ever since the movie came out, audiences around the world have called it the scariest movie of all time. 50 years later, and I'm betting younger audiences today would actually maybe laugh at it. The pacing of movies from the 1970s is so different than movies from today that younger audiences would probably actually get bored and turn it off before it got to the good parts. Now, nothing remotely scary happens for nearly an hour. The first act of the movie feels almost more like an Indiana Jones movie, real dusty, and there's a lot of archaeologists. While each of the scenes with the possessed Regan is truly iconic, I have seen them all so many times online and in short clips that they don't have nearly the impact that they would have seeing them for the very first time. But even in 2023, some of Regan's scenes are shocking and over the top. I can't imagine how many people clutched their pearls and said, well, I never seen this 50 years ago. Hearing some of Regan's iconic lines, I tried to think of what the TV edit would be. Much like the famous Snakes on a Plane TV edit, I'm tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday through Friday plane. I could see Regan saying something like, your mother shucks corn in jail. And much like Beetlejuice or A Nightmare on Elm Street, the most iconic character in the movie is on screen for very little of the runtime. Now, newer movies hit the ground running with action-packed scenes and they never let up. What makes The Exorcist special is how much character development there is and how slowly the story unfolds. It gives the audience more time to worry about the things that they know are coming. I appreciate the path of the characters as well, looking into science before finally settling in on, okay, maybe she is possessed. This feels real to me. If this really happened, I don't think most people would accept the demon possession until all other avenues were explored. And the medical procedure that they perform on Regan is actually the scariest part of the movie for me. We've thankfully made a lot of advances in medical science in the past 50 years. During the movie, a character says a speech, and in that speech says a vulgar display of power, which I know is one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time by the band Pantera. I googled, and while I don't know 100%, it sure seems like that album title was indeed based off of this throwaway line from The Exorcist. Now, of course, that's not the only thing that this movie influenced. Pretty much every single horror movie that has come after The Exorcist was inspired by The Exorcist. This movie has definitely earned its legacy. The makeup and special effects hold up exceptionally well. Sure, the blood in 1970s movies isn't quite the right shade of red, and in high-definition versions of the movie, Regan's face is very clearly makeup, but it doesn't take away from how scary that makeup is. It may be a bit slow for modern audiences, but that slow buildup is paid off with some truly shocking and scary scenes that are still shocking in the 21st century. This should be required viewing for all film lovers. Having your mom give you a bath, praying, sleeping above the covers, 4 feet above the covers, inappropriate statues, steep steps,